I just want to take a minute to appreciate a piece of hardware that's both an unsung hero and a Japanese exclusive. If you've never seen this before, it might look weird, but let me assure you, it's a gem and you should find one. For the uninitiated, this is the Gameboy Light, a Japan-only console that was released in 1998. It came in 2 color variations, and here we have the gold version. This model is in decent shape besides 1 or 2 spots that need some TLC. It did use AA's, which here I've got some generic rechargeable ones. In the 90s, batteries were so expensive, so rechargeables are a must. Why are we looking at this model? Why not an SP or a Retron Pocket or any other way to play OG Gameboy games? Well, this right here, as the name implies, this has a built-in light. Before you'd see folks with their giant clunky contraptions, the most famous being the Light Boy for the DMG, there were also some Worm Light. There were just these squiggly little attachments that didn't do a whole lot. Neither of them really did. But here we have a built-in light, the first of its kind. Now here's some gameplay without it. And here's with. Night and day, if you ask me. Worlds apart, right? Much, much cleaner, usable, functional. Here's Mortal Kombat 2. If you haven't watched my previous video on it, go check it out. But look at the clarity. Much less dithering too on that screen. Now here, I'll switch it off. I'm also worried every time I switch the light off but want to keep playing that I'll accidentally turn the whole system off because the light is built into the on switch. And you kind of have to be careful there. I have accidentally turned off the whole system. Now here's a modded system, a Game Boy Pocket in a third-party shell, and you can see some damage on it. There's some broken LCD stuff going on at the top, but it does look good. Keep in mind that this was made in the late 2000s, early 2010s. That's a solid 15 years or so after. So if you ask me the time difference between when the original light was made and these modded systems, the light can really hold its own. Now here's a side-by-side of 4 different ways to play. Top right is the Game Boy Light in question with the light on. Bottom right, same system with the light off. Bottom left is that modded system. And the top left is everyone's favorite, the AGS 101, in a custom painted shell. Here we see it closer, and undoubtedly it looks good, but it also looks very modified, I guess is the word. The left bumper, of course, on the SP, we all know, stretched out the original Game Boy games into this wider aspect ratio. It doesn't look as natural. So there's a lot of different ways to play that we've seen. They all have their merits, but this console, this one right here, it still stands out as an amazing way to play these games. If you can, get yourself one of these. You won't regret it, and you'll have a small piece of gaming history. Price charting would lead me to believe it's somewhere in the $130 range, so not terribly expensive. And for reference, a Light Boy from back in the day, it shows here, loose would be about $21. So you can decide how you want to do it, but if you ask me, again, it's a great way to be able to play older games with just a little bit of help, just enough so that you don't have to be living under a lamp. That's all for now. Like I said, if you didn't check out my last video on Mortal Kombat on Game Boy, definitely go check it out. I'll leave a card here, and thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.